All right, George Hammerbacher is back in the booth for our next live stream video match at the Action Pool Tour, stop number 7, Peninsula Billiards down in Newport News, Virginia, on Warwick Boulevard. Fabulous place. We're going to have a match between Johnny S. Versus Mike Peterson. Johnny has a very, very long last name, and it's no disrespect to him. I'll just call him Johnny S. He might want to maintain anonymity if he's a hustler and he's trying to lay down a spread in this event. Who knows? But it's a race to 7 on the one-loss side. Johnny told me he's from now from Las Vegas. Nice shot rail first. Comes around to the 3. I'm not sure whether the 3 is any good or it's a safety. It's a safety. His opponent is Mike Peterson, a local fellow from down this way, according to my intel from Chris Wylie. Mike sold out a real good opportunity now for Johnny. I think Johnny can play a little bit. He's laying on a nickel dime looking combination, 5-10 on the side, I believe. I might be wrong, but this is what I believe he's going to do. He pours a 5-10 in and takes a 1-0 lead. Johnny S. takes a 1-0 lead. He lost an earlier TV match on the winner's side to a real good player, so it wasn't necessarily, didn't necessarily see the very best of him by any stretch of the imagination, but here he might get more opportunities, hard to say. On an adjacent table we have the young man Cohen Bell competing with Mr. Bill Dugan, a local first responder, firefighter, paramedic, I think. A real, he and his wife Jackie have been fixtures on this pool scene down here in Newport News for 25 or more years, I do believe. Real nice guy, and Mike sweeps that deuce in and falls on a nice position on the 3. His 4-9 looks like a pretty done deal, but what his position's going to be is anybody's guess. I don't know if he's any good here. If that 4 passes to 7 or 10. Safety, okay. Good shot. 10 ball is a call ball, call pocket rotation sport. And if individual makes a ball in a pocket that he or she doesn't call, the opponent has their opportunity to have that individual shoot again. This is the action pool tour. The 10 ball does not count on the break. It gets respotted, and the player that broke is still at the table and having legally pocketed a ball. No hit. And Johnny is on the ball in hand, and Mike is on the ball in hand, and rolls it up for the 5 in the side. It's a pretty taxing looking out with the 7 on the cushion. Good shot, but he's doesn't really have the correct angle here to do much with this other than make it, I think. Maybe I was wrong. That was a good shot from Mike. High right English, 3 rails to the 8. That was just as effective. Played 10 in the same pocket as the 8. Smooth it in. Oh, he hammered it. Oh. Looks like Johnny S. is going to feast on this one. Johnny S. takes a 2-0 lead over Mike Peterson here. We're here at Peninsula Billiards. Mike Richards and Joe Elias, co-owners and hosts this weekend of the Action Tour, do a fabulous job. This place has leagues, tournaments, great food, full bar, just widescreen TVs everywhere. Just a real nice, comfortable place to play. Plenty of room to play between tables, and very thoughtfully and artfully laid out. And Johnny S. got into this, I think, at the last minute. I don't even think he has his own cue with him, but he looks like he can play a little bit. He breaks in. The 3 ball has an interesting opportunity, maybe. I'm George Hammerbacher, Voice Action Pool Tour. This is towards the end of my 7th season, and advanced level instructor, Professional Billiard Instructor Association out of Baltimore, Maryland. Real convenient. The Baltimore-Washington corridor, as well as Western Maryland. I'm right on the end of Route 70. I'm about 45 minutes from Frederick, which is our next stop next month. A 9-ball event at Champion Billiards in Frederick on Buckystown Pike. Excellent venue in its own right. And this looks like a pretty much cut and dried safety, where he can go off the edge of the tube, bank it cross table, and stick behind the 6, the 8, and the 5. This way, he could. that was that's gonna be folly. He's gonna take a pickaxe to hit that ball. I don't think he can fit in between the 8 and the rail to hit it. No. He looks like he has a dinner date the way he hit that ball. Other sponsors, the Action Pool Tour, include Q Sports International, owners of the BCA pool leagues. They run regional and national events. They have the U.S. Open 8, 9, and 10 ball championships on bar tables. Ozzy Reynolds is the owner of that corporation. They're the North American distributors of Magic Rack. Ozzy put these headphones on me back in 2013 when I came getting ready to have hips replaced to Diamond Billiards in Midlothian, and lo and behold, I'm still on the mic 7 years later. But Ozzy is a very, very fine pool player. He's also in the Hampton Roads Pool and Billiard Hall of Fame. I remember doing his introduction about 6 years ago maybe, but he was the original owner and operator of this Action Tour, and a friend of mine. Additional sponsors include Kamui Chalk, Kamui Tips, and Kamui Products. They top of the line equipment for the discerning pool player and billiard player. We have Predator cues and products. Make much more than just high price. Or high, not even that high price, but they're high tech, low deflection shafts and carbon shafts. This new Revo line is taking the pool world by storm. Also, we have diamond pool tables, extremely respected in the field, top of the line equipment. They have great tables, 7, 8, 9, 10-foot tables. They also have make lighting systems that match the tables perfectly, and they're top grade product. World events are played on these on a regular basis. Other sponsors include Viking cues and products out of Madison, Wisconsin. I lived in Wisconsin for several years, and he hasn't lost his toy. I played many people that played with Viking cues, and they all swore by them. Johnny West takes a 3-0 lead. This is alternate break, and sometimes after the day is getting long, the people actually forget whose break shot it is. It's kind of comical. You go, you go. We also have OzoneBilliards.com, anything and everything for your game room, pool, dart, whatever your indoor sports are and your indoor passion. We have Simonis cloth. They've only been around since about 1680. And Aramith balls that they're playing with now on Simonis 860 tournament blue cloth. This is a real diamond. Will Safety just banked this ball straight ahead and let it kick past the 10, go up table, and just stick him on the 8. He's going to play a different sort of a shot. That's a good shot there, actually. He can cut the 6 in the side. No hit. Always when you have a questionable hit, you always bring in a tournament director or referee. That way you have no mistakes, no misunderstandings, and because the tie always goes to the shooter in an uncertain situation. That's maybe good if he can draw it over or come around 3 rails. That's a real pretty shot there. Good hit. Excellent speed. Now just roll up. Four games to nothing. Johnny, yes. We drew 32 players here. And now we have 4 left on the winner's side. And the four left include Mike Davis, Chris Bruner, J.T. Ringgold, and Dr. Dave Hunt of Hasselman and Hunt Family Dentistry, longtime supporter of the Action Pool Tour and player from the Richmond area, Hasselman and Hunt Family Dentistry. We also have the East Coast Landscaping. Larry Flager, Lightning Larry, was here today. Always loved that guy to pieces. He might call it 10. And he drills the Joker home. Four games to one. Right? That was his first, Johnny, that was his first game, right? And you won the other four.
Yeah, Johnny has.
I didn't, not to be disrespectful, but not all the letters even fit on the screen.
Totally fine. Johnny S is fine.
Right. Nice young man. First I met him, he hit them with a wet newspaper. He might make the 2-ball in spite of it. Safety allowed. That looks like a one pocket. You hit him with a wet newspaper. Well, he turned him loose. He changed the lay of the land. Oh, you had to spring a whole lot more than that, Mike. You had to twist it, you couldn't fist it.
People were asking me about the brackets. You haven't posted to
I haven't. Trying to catch up.
I tried to help him with it, but I didn't have access. Your Facebook wasn't logged in, so I don't have them straight.
No, it's all good. I just have to copy this right here.
Yeah.
It's actually on our website. You know, I have a few things on this.
A good hit. The 10 ball did strike the cushion. Even though I couldn't tell them one way or another because I'm not in the game. That was a good hit. He might be able to twist it around and play that carom on the 5-6. He might. Oh, good effort. It's like a jump shot in the off, and this guy can jump. I've seen him do it. A good hit. Safety allowed.
What's up, man? Little seat over here. Wasn't for the chair.
Oh, are you gonna do some live?
No, I don't know. I was just gonna talk to George.
Okay. Go shut the door and come out.
He said 5-3, and I hear that. You good, man? Tight, man. I was gonna be surprised if he went for the job.
Well, we have a very, very special guest in the booth here. We have Mr. J.T. Ringgold, Carolina assassin.
Yeah,
He's so treacherous. He's undefeated. He's in the final four on the winner's side here. He's going to be up playing again in a little while against
play Mike Davis.
Mike Davis. Well,
It's always a good match playing Mike Davis. Always fun.
Mike played an outright flawless match in his previous match against a young man, Cohen Bell, from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, who's playing up here on this adjacent table on the one-loss side against Bill.
Yeah, Mike usually breaks pretty well. So when he gets rolling, he's pretty tough to slow down.
Your last time here, you were like out of sorts. You were like out of here so fast that you could hardly be photographed. We saw you and then you were gone. It was like March or something. We were here.
That's what I try to tell people sometimes. You come to these things, and even if you're playing good, just you get a tough draw or start hitting a few bad balls, and just a lot of it's mental. So you gotta just grind it out sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to do. That's probably one of them times where it was hard for me to do. So.
Well, one of the things I'd tell the viewers about you is that I was always taken by your focus and your discipline at the table, which is a presence in itself that's allowed to make other people dog it.
Yeah. I have dogged it just like other people, but I've found that if you try to do the same things every time while you're at the table, you become a lot more consistent.
But JT, if I'm not mistaken, you won that December tournament down at Q Masters with a real big, good field, and beat some players along the way, and
yeah, that was a good tournament. I think that was the first big open tournament that I won, and it gave me a lot of confidence.
And you're like right on the coastline of North Carolina, right?
Yeah, I live in Newport. Yeah, Newport, North Carolina. It's right on the East Coast. It's about I think it's about 3 hours from here.
Do you all get affected by hurricanes there a lot?
Well, it's usually not too bad. I know last year we had, I can't remember the name of it, but we had a pretty bad one. It didn't turn out too bad.
Yeah.
Me and Newport, I think, like my last match, me and Newport were playing. We both got a few of those. It's I'm not sure for those who are watching this, extremely hard to draw this cue ball. I think it has a lot to do with, the cloth being a little older, and just that cue ball in general it's pretty tough to draw it back. So whenever you're watching these matches, you'll see a lot of people underdrawing a lot of shots.
Oh yeah, we got some players left that can draw the ball in the next county.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where I've just wanted to draw it, 4 or 5 inches, and I feel like I'm trying to draw it way more than that, and still not getting it.
It's odd you say that, JT, because that if I've heard people talk about different cue balls like being heavy or this or that, and they just about all of them weigh like 172 grams in the box, or 6 ounces and change.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing, and I couldn't tell you what any cue ball weighs, but just from playing with so many different ones, I can tell you from at least personal experience which ones spin a lot more and which ones don't.
A lot of it has to do with the finish that's on them.
Yeah, dirty balls and clean ones, they make a big difference too.
Sure. I have a real fine scale, in my basement. I was a cue collector, and I used to weigh cues into the tenths of ounces or less, and in the grams, and
I've never been able to get into it like that, but I can definitely tell a difference when I'm playing. It's actually kind of funny because they would always say, cleaner balls don't skid as much, and I feel like some of them Cyclops balls, which actually play really good, I know that a lot of them are clean, and they seem to skid a lot more when I'm playing with them.
Back about 4 years ago, I was in the booth in a tournament in Philadelphia with a guy that knew about everything there was to know, a guy named Jimmy Fusco. He was a one-pocket legend out of Philadelphia, and he was an older guy. He was sort of like, he was actually about my age, really, but smoking cigarettes and all had taken its toll on him over the years. And we talked at length on this about skid. It's out on YouTube somewhere, and it was one of those regional tours up at Drexel Billiards. 2 guys, it was supposed to be a couple great young players, guys like you from Philly, the Josh brothers, and another guy who's also plenty tough customer, young guy, Adam Keeler. And we thought we were going to have a real great match, and it turned out to be a 9-0 shellacking.
That happens. We get 2 good players playing, and one catches a good gear. I'm telling you, it doesn't really matter how you play. It's just tough to slow some of the guys down.
We were playing winter break, and it was.
Winter break. That's a lot rougher. At least an alternate break, you can at least put some pressure on, especially if you're breaking good.
Yeah. Did you play down there in that Beasley event down there?
Yeah, I sure did. I believe I won 2 or 3 matches on the winter side. Then I had to play Francisco Bustamante, and we both were playing really well and breaking really well. And it was a race of 9, and I had to lead all the way to 5, and it was never within more than a game or 2. But I had to lead. It was 5-4, and the only thing I did wrong was break dry twice. So I broke dry twice, he ran out twice, and then he broke and ran twice. So next thing I know,
it was Dolly Parton.
Next thing I know, it was 8-5. I didn't do anything wrong but break dry.
Right.
I guess I did do something wrong and didn't make a ball right.
Yeah. Percentages are such that you make. If it's 9 ball, were they allowed to break? Did you have to break from the box?
Yeah, see, it was 9. They were playing U.S. Open rules, so it was 9 on the spot, and you had to break inside the box. They didn't have the 3-point rule.
3 fouls.
No 3 points. So,
3 points.
When you break in the U.S. Open, I'm not sure about this past one, but normally when you break, you got to have at least 3 balls.
Go past the side pockets.
No, the break screen.
Oh.
That way you can't soft break, which some people still do with the Magic Rack, but it's a little bit tougher. But they didn't want to do that because there were so many tables and so many matches going on. They told you not to break soft, but I mean it's kind of hard to judge who's soft breaking or not.
They don't have a radar gun.
Yeah, they ain't got no radar gun. So, but yeah, we had a good match, and I know I came back. I think it was a 4-day tournament, and I came back on the 3rd day, and I think I lost. I lost to a good player, Tyler Chappell. He's from Greenville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I also broke really bad that match. But.
And I tell the people all the time on these live streams and all that I've been coming to these regional events and other events for a long time, and I very seldom see players practicing their break shot, which is the only shot we know happens every game.
I can't remember if it was the tournament that I won, or it might have been the tournament I won in December. I remember me and you talking about that. Practicing my break shot, because I was throwing the balls out and I was just trying to stay in stroke. But yeah, practicing your break's important, especially when you're playing on these small tables.
Oh yeah.
You have the quality of players that you have in this tournament playing on these big pocket tables. We're really not going to miss. You really got to break well.
Yeah, these are tables that are vended, the vend quarters. That's what they're vended. And I'm not, but they're all the same for everybody.
Yep.
And but the beauty of the practice and the break is you learn your patterns, especially if you got to put the 2-3 in the ends.
Yeah.
At least you know the patterns of actually half of the balls, the 1, 2, 3, 4 balls, the 1, 2, 3, and 10. You learn the.
I was playing. I believe I was playing Johnny earlier on this table, and he was breaking really well. I actually think it's one of the things I recommend to people when they play. Watch your opponent where he's breaking. If he's breaking good, and you're not, he's probably at this level. I know there's some racking things, but at this level, he's usually breaking from a different side than you, or putting a certain English on it, and he was breaking really well. So I actually switched sides in the middle of my match, and it was a little tougher switching sides because I was more comfortable breaking from the other side. So it took me a few times to hit him correctly, but when I started hitting them correctly, I was starting to make more balls.
That was way back in the very first match of the day. You played this young man, Johnny.
Yeah.
Right here, and
I think that was my second match. I played somebody before him.
Oh, maybe you're right. I start to lose track of it.
Yeah, I did. I played my first match over on table 1. But with these wooden racks and the spots being, like I said, the cloth's a little bit older. Mm-hmm. It's actually really hard to get these racks tight. So, you're getting kind of different reaction every single time you're breaking. So, even if you do hit it good, you're just kind of hoping to make a ball and get a shot.
Well, if Johnny can stay about his business, he can be moving up the loser's side.
Mm-hmm. He played pretty good against me. I think I got in a little groove, and he broke dry a few times, and I think he just got a little out of stroke. But race to 8 seems like, race to 8 on the winner side seems like a long race, but it's really not. It's really not at all.
The condemned man ate a hearty meal.
What's that?
The condemned man ate a hearty meal.
Mm-hmm.
warden isn't taking phone calls. The governor's calling, but the warden's at lunch.
Yeah.
Johnny S. takes down Mike Peterson here by a final score of 7-2. And
I believe they have a really good match coming up here next for those who are watching. I believe Chris Brunner and David Hunt. For those that don't know, those guys are on a Masters team together, and they actually went to Vegas and won. They actually won the entire thing, so that they're very aware of each other's games, and it should be a great match.
I'm not sure whether we're going to see Chris and Dave or whether we're going to see Davis and...
I told Tiger told Dave when he was sitting next to me that he's going to be on the stream.
Okay.
So it should be, unless he changed his mind, which I don't think he did. But Dave and Chris, they'll be up on the stream. So
now, and you're going to see just stark differences in everything, because first off,